Some viewers find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey YB, this is Markel Logan. I just want to reach out to you and say thank you so much for all you have done for the community, for the shows. Grateful that you're coming back full attack, and everybody watch out for YB.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Carrie D.
And I'm Lyndon James.
And we are Roommate. We just want to take a few moments to thank and show our love to Yasss Bitch Entertainment.
Okay. Yes, God.
Okay. We just always love your energy, love your support. Yeah. Since we started as Roommate, you were one of the biggest supporters that we have gotten to experience, and we just wanted to send that love right on back. Absolutely.
Yes, most definitely. And I would say, if anything, you're like one of the most honest, genuine people out there who give you like 100% honest feedback. You don't keep it a buck, you don't keep it 100, okay? So, and that's what we need as artists, to grow and to be better, you know what I'm saying? So it's needed, so keep doing your thing. For sure, okay?
I just want to take the time out to let you know how good of a friend you are. Such an inspiration to us in our community, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing such a great job.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Ike from G Status ATL Hustle. I just want to take a minute and shine a light on my boy YB. Truly the gift that keeps on giving. Always pleasant to me during my time in reality. Truly the LeBron James of mass media. The reporting and reviewing is always above the tier. Always intellectual, always fair, balanced, and most of all, funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for reading me when I need to be read. But most of all, reading others when they had it wrong about your boy. We truly don't deserve you. I wish you the best in all you continue to do. Hoping that you go higher, deeper, farther than you've ever been in all of your goals and all of your aspirations. Hello, God, honey. Okay? I know that's right. It's your boy Ike. I'm out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yes God Roundtable, honey, Season 3, Episode 9. Okay, Yes God, let me introduce the panel. Hello, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? What's going on? And I also want to introduce our special panelist for tonight, creator, executive producer with Chasing Reality, Chasing Dallas Season 1, 2, and currently 3, honey, and the Retreat Bitch, Ressie G. What's up?
Ressie?
Hello.
How are you?
Hi. How everybody doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Glad to be home.
Season 3, girl. Already, it's off to a great start. I'm loving it.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
The girls are definitely girling.
The girls are girling.
The girls are girling, honey.
Available at thegirlsaregirling.com or RessieG.com. Get it, how you living, all those things, okay?
Yes, God. Thank you for joining us here at the Roundtable. It's good to have you.
Yes, thank you for the invite. I'm so excited. I love y'all.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yes. So I just want to catch up with everybody. How's everybody's week been so far?
Crazy nuts. Glad that I'm done fucking moving. Can't wait to just complete the finishing touches, but a blessed week for sure.
Amen. Yes.
My week was difficult, but I'm glad that I'm here at the start of a new one, and I'm ready to just set my intentions and meet this week head on.
Yes.
My week was a mess.
Not a mess. Not a mess. Why was it a mess?
You know, I had to check a couple of bitches on a show that ain't getting no views, you know.
Oh. You talking about who? Who we talking about? Oh,
Web Life.
What me and you were talking about?
Oh,
yes.
boy. I've been watching that too. And let me say, that pool scene, I have had to go back and watch a couple times. That was funny. That was funny.
It was funny. It was funny when it was happening, but bitch.
You know, what will we do for a Klondike bar?
What would you do for a Klondike bar? And that's not even a paid Klondike bar. It was a free Klondike bar.
Oh my God.
I don't see no, what I don't understand is like you coming onto a platform and you want to show your business, you want to show your brands, but if you don't have one and you're going onto a show for free, why do you want to make enemies with people who are not even on your show? Like, I don't understand that. You're making enemies for free. It's weird to me.
Child, there's a lot of weird bitches out there in the world. You gotta be careful.
They got the right one. You know, I'm a DM slider, baby. If I got a problem with you, honey, I don't do all this lives and multiple lives. It's just calling you out, bitch. I go to them DMs and I let you know what time it is, bitch. I don't play those.
Okay.
Don't get some.
Tramel, I don't like seeing you upset. It doesn't look natural. Like upsetting. Like upsetness.
But if you watch Web Life season 2, you'll understand why he's upset. A lot of people tried him, and he was just.
I'm not even on that damn show.
Yeah, he was just supporting his friend, and people are trying him that are.
Nobody.
That shit. Yeah.
Speaking of weeks, this has been a week. Episode 2 of Chasing. Dallas is out. Ressie, so while we have you here, before we get into our topics, can you give us some tea? Can you
Well, I'm an open book, so you ask the question, I will give you the.
I have a question.
Answer. Okay, let's go.
What's going on between you and George?
What's going on between me and George? I want you to elaborate and dig a little deeper, because
y'all are not getting along, and I have no clue as to why.
Neither do I.
Okay. Because in the confessional, he doesn't understand why y'all not getting along either. So it's like, is there a miscommunication going on? Is there some he said, she said going on? Because y'all both don't understand why y'all don't like each other. And
so here's the thing. So at the end of last season, of course, the reunion, all the drama that he was giving me, all the heat that he was giving me, the hot air that was coming out of his esophagus was from, we got into it after Carrie D's video shoot.
Okay.
And so he was saying he was going to drag me up and down the street, and there still has yet to be a draggage. That was actually the first time he said it. He said it 2 more times since then, a total of 3. So, so it's like, okay, girl. But after that, I invited him to Markel's birthday party that I had through at this really, really nice restaurant. It was a really good vibe. We all had a very good time. So I was like, okay, well, maybe all of this is, we done hashed it out. We had a quick little chat. We're good. We're done. Which is why I sent him the gift for his birthday. Even though I wasn't invited, I was going to crash it. Plus, I was out of town anyway. So I just, sent him a gift. I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah. Not good.
Not good.
I have a question. Are you done answering that question? Did he answer your question?
Yeah, because he don't know. So he.
Okay.
Yeah, he don't know.
So,
and I've asked time and time again.
And what was told to you when you asked?
You know what it is. And I'm like, I really don't. What is it?
But apparently he don't either. That's what he said.
So my thing is, why is there an issue?
Exactly. Go ahead, YB. We're done here.
Can you get into the you and the Markel situation briefly, if you feel like talking about that?
What part?
Just
is
what
he
the foundation of the show.
Let's say it again.
The foundation, because I know y'all have had a rocky relationship, but I also see that you guys are obviously having bouts of going at it when it comes to creative situations. So he almost admitted in the beginning that I don't think there was ever any denial that you guys worked together in the beginning of the process of this show. So could it just be truth, like I stated in my review, that maybe you may not have been adamant about the show and he just went gun-ho and just did all the work anyway and then put his name on it?
You know, I want to thank Premiere because, you know, one thing about it, when a lie creep up the truth, I always slide in real quick. And when I saw the birthday party, Premiere actually said where it derived from. So 1 point of my vindication is on its way. But I can agree with you. Because the thing about it, the piece of the story that, and y'all will see more, but real quick, I ain't gonna, you know, harp on it a lot, but so one night, Ontario created this mock-up. It was just the opening credits. It was right at the season 1 of Sisters had came out, and so that song we would just gab about that song because we couldn't find it anywhere. And then he actually ended up doing like a loop and putting it out on YouTube because we just loved the song. And so literally 12 o'clock one night, I was asleep. Woke up the following day. He had sent me this thing saying Resie G's looking for love, and it had Markel in it, and I sent it to Markel. Little did I know, I would say maybe at the beginning of the year, I found out that he actually sent it to somebody else. Coincidentally, I think not.
Would that be the Atlanta person that he won't speak of?
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So, but it wasn't. So he sent it to somebody else who became a friend of mine, who was Joe. And Joe, Chef Joe, y'all saw me, you know, episode 1, Chef Joe in Chicago doing some things. And he sent it to him saying that he's working on this show. Just found that out when everything started to kind of come out. And so I sent it to Markel. He was like, why am I called to help? And I was like, because you're going to help me find love. That's what it meant. But you can be like the friend or something like that. And he was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then he paid it, right? And then that's when him and myself started to formulate this idea, right? So I was like, well, what do you think about this? Throwing some stuff at him. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? He was like, oh, okay, yeah, that'd be cool. Da, 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 da. What you want me to do? Da, 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 da. I said, all right. So then Ontario, I was throwing it at Ontario, and he was like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. So when y'all gonna do it? And I was like, I don't know, because I was in a situation, and so I didn't want to disrespect my situation. So it was actually going to be a setup to where we was going to have these daters. The guy that I was talking to at the time was going to win at the end. And then that way our situation was going to be public. We didn't have to sneak around with me not knowing that the situation was already being talked about amongst the group anyway. I digress. Time goes on. I was working on the retreat. The reunion came about. He sneakily had reached out to Ontario because he knew Ontario was coming down to Dallas. I had got us an Airbnb for the reunion. He set up this meeting. Markel pops up. I'm in the kitchen cooking jambalaya and cornbread.
Hello.
He came in. He's trying to pitch this show. When Markel gets nervous, and when Markel is lying, he starts to stutter. And so I was like, to Ontario, quote, I said, girl, it's just like Resie G looking for love, just with 2 bachelors. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. So the same stuff? I said, yeah. And she was like, oh, okay. Then he was like, exactly. So I really didn't care. The problem came in is when your show airs, this is privately, and I expressed this to Trey, Dior, and Ari when we was at the retreat, and I was like, I'm not going to bring this up on the show because I know he wanted a show. So I mean, it's not a thing. He's been trying to do so many things over the years. I'm gonna give my friend this op. If he need me help, fine. When I reached out to him because I hadn't heard anything, but little did I know he was working on the show. Ontario thought I was working on the show with him, unbeknownst to him, and he was just doing his thing. So I had texted him, and I actually think this is right around the time where I had actually caught COVID. So this is back. And so I reached out to him, the text message that he showed. I reached out to him. I was like, okay, so like, what's going on? Do you still need help? No, I think I'm going to do it by myself. I said, okay. And it kind of gave me a little bit of pause because the conversation that he's been telling everybody about that we had after the reunion, he said that the show was going to be a way for us to mend our friendship. So I was like, okay, well, what's going to be the thing to mend our friendship? If I'm doing my part, you know, what's going to be your part? Paid it. And then I was like, I ain't heard nothing. So if this show is supposed to be the thing, well, maybe I should just be a part of the show. Work up under him, still can help him out every now and then, you know, go from there. And then that's when I said, okay, well, maybe I'll be a bachelor. And then because I had finished the situationship, I was like, well, maybe we can go this route. And he was like, he was confused actually. And then he called me and I was just like, okay, well, what do you think about me being a bachelor? I said, I'll just come in, crack jokes, and it'll be fun. I'm a familiar face, blah, blah. He was like, oh, okay, well, I already kind of got somebody, but you know, I'll let you know. And then you could just apply. And I was like, okay, hey.
Okay.
And after that, heard nothing about it. I didn't even ask Ondario about it because I didn't think that there was anything happening with it until randomly Ondario asked me about the show, and I was like, "Girl, I'm not working with him. I mean, you just ask Markel." And so then I did an interview with a guy. And I said, you know, there's something coming, you know, somebody that's coming about. There's an idea that me and Ondario thought of, and he's actually bringing it to fruition. No shade, just what it was. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody know him to produce shows. I'm just saying. And he took offense. He took offense from that. He does this Imani interview and says that I am going around saying that he stole the show from me.
Mm.
And I just don't know where that came from in particular, because I only have been talking to Ariel about it. And I was just like, girl, this is kind of weird that he, you know, is not reaching out. I ain't heard nothing from him. He got a man. So, I mean, maybe it's just that, but I paid it. So now it's this whole back and forth of, did he steal the show? Did he not steal the show? I didn't really care about him doing the show. It was what it was. But then when you say you created it and you the executive, like this is just all totally your idea, solely your idea, that's definitely a slap in the face to me. And I'm just like, bitch, because that's not what it was. So that's what kind of angered me. And then we're here with all this little backhanded, sneaky stuff.
Could there ever be a place and time where you could have that conversation with him? Like, because it seems like in the show, like there's no one talking to no one during the distance between filming and by the time we get to see the show, and between the ins and outs of what you guys got going on in your real lives. So it just seems like, has there ever been a moment? Have you guys had an opportunity to talk about this issue and actually try to? You don't have to be friends again, but at least be able to, you know, walk away with having mutual respect for one another.
I wanted to be friends. You know, me and Markel were. So I thought very close, or close enough to get past something like this that's kind of really small. But stay tuned. There are conversations that are had. There are a lot of pop-up queens. There are a lot of girls that's chiming in on some stuff that don't need to chime in on stuff. And y'all can judge for yourselves. One thing that I have done, and I pride myself on this season, is making sure that I allow people to present themselves to me, and then I'll deal with you accordingly. If I don't want to talk to you right now, I'm not going to talk to you. If I'm going to leave the room, I'm going to leave, because I'm not going to pop you. I can't pop you on camera, especially if you don't get in my personal space. I'm not going to just willingly start an argument, because I'm always defending myself anyway. And anything I say in certain situations, I always going to look like a lie. So I ain't really got the time to even try and make that a thing. So I just let them go. Y'all will see it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Before we move on to the topics, Christian Taylor has a pretty good question for you, Ressie. Mm-hmm. And hello, Christian, how are you? He just basically wants to know, well, how would you define what chasing means from your perspective, and what the dreams that you're chasing towards?
So I would say for me, chasing is being able to continue to go after whatever your aspiration is against all odds. If you think that if you want to be a contractor and build buildings, and you're doing it in a city where you're not going to be as accepted. I mean, with LGBTQ folk, I mean, we always come up against a lot of different no's in the forms of different things. So if you continue to push past those things and try and touch and get your goals or chase your dreams, and that's what chasing. For me, I have been making sure that I chase the theory that I want to bring to fruition of making sure that mainstream media learns to respect us LGBTQ folks, which is why chasing reality has been a gift and sometimes a curse, because we have this opportunity and this privilege to have people on this platform to show everybody that you can chase your dreams and you're not always going to be stuck in this hole of being gay or being trans, and you can still succeed, pass through it. And this is our real lives. So for me, I have the shows. I'm continuing to develop shows. I currently have 2 in development right now. So I'm just trying to continue to be that activist and ultimately maybe be, the gay Oprah. Who knows?
Yes.
I got a question, and I want to take it back to a little bit of mess. I'm sorry. They was all kumbayaing about friends and your friends. I want to go back to the birthday dinner at Trey Howard's birthday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seemed like there was a lot of conversations being had within an earshot of you.
Yes.
So I want to know exactly what you were feeling and what you heard and how you felt when you heard certain things, because I know that there was a lot of things said about you in that moment at that table. So what was you thinking?
Where's my food? Where's my drink? Bitch, I'm ready to go. Where's my food? Where's my drink? Bitch, I'm ready to go. Where's my food? Where's my drink? Bitch, I'm ready to go. Honestly, a lot of the argument or the back and forth with Ariel and Carrie D, that was really my first time seeing it, because I'm not in the editing process anymore.
Right.
My team is with Ondario. So seeing it back, I was like, damn, I didn't know all that was going on. Only thing I can recall, I was like, I heard her get kind of loud at one point. I was like, girl, you all right? She was like, yeah, I'm all right. I said, okay. But Trey did try to ask me to talk to Carrie because he was saying some things. I heard Carrie say something along the lines of some might be me being irrelevant or something like that. And I was just like, girl, please, I paid it, because this wasn't the time and place to have those type of conversations. This is for, and I don't want to be the one, because I'm always the one. So I don't want to be the one to be in the situation causing the problem at this boy's birthday and me and him just getting on real good terms. So I'm like, I'm not finna, and then I kind of contributed to everything that was going on. So I was like, I'm not finna be the one that ruins the event, because it's the house of cards will definitely fall on me. So I was just like, okay, girl, just stay calm, sip and eat when I was hearing some of the things. So,
Ciao.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Patience is a virtue.
Child, yes, it is, because
Not
y'all
me.
know how that whole
And I'm
scene-
glad you told Eric that he was doing too much, because he was.
Ooh, now no shade to him.
He was.
Why does he sound so robotic in his confessionals? Because it was tearing me up. It was
They're manufactured, honey. They were built in someone's fucking warehouse.
He was like, hi, my name is Eric James. You might know me from The Retreat. And, I'm here to mix it up.
I mean, he coming into green screens and doing your interview scenes, I don't tell people to prepare, because we're just asking you questions, but this go round, I wasn't at a lot of them. So from what I heard from the team is, he prepares his reads.
Honey, he had the stance. He knew where the camera was, honey. That bitch was sniffing the fuck out of them candles, honey, and he was getting high as Cootie Brown, bitch, in there just posted.
Yes.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, with he loved to show that chest, child. Like, girl, put it away.
Listen.
Put it away, honey.
Bless him. Bless him.
Child. They'll be okay. Well, shout out to Chase and Dallas. Make sure you guys are tuning in every Thursday, 8 p.m., right? That's the time and the place on YouTube. Y'all know what it is. Y'all better get into it.
I got one more question. I'm sorry, because I don't get these opportunities. In your opinion, this is the last one, I promise. In your opinion, who are the call sheet hoes to you?
So, definition of call sheet hoe, first of all, is like people that you would not usually hang around with on a daily. So to me, call sheet hoes, the biggest 2 call sheet hoes I would say would be George and Markel, because they don't hang out like that, but they're so close when they're on camera. And y'all will see, George is so different whenever Markel is not around. And he's actually, if y'all even like, when I was watching that conversation that he was having when me and Eric was outside, I was just like, okay, so this is him, but I don't get it. But to me, the call sheet hoes would definitely be, a Markel or George. you know. But other than that, ever since this season, a lot of us actually do hang around each other outside of the show. And we just don't enjoy hanging around others because we don't really know them because we haven't really been able to make a connection like that.
Yeah.
So, But Ariel don't really hang out with nobody like that except for me and Dior anyway. So it's like anybody with her is just policy.
Where was Dior? Was he at Chadwick's birthday party?
No, he was actually in Atlanta for the G Status reunion. He did. He did. My
Child, why he wasted his money?
But he
why
did
he
not
wasted
know.
his money?
Well, you know, Redrick is his gay child, so he went out there to do his hair, and so he because Trey's party actually changed, the date changed, and so he wasn't able to come. So
Yeah, he wasted his time coming out here. Redrick looked amazing, but he wasted his time coming out there.
That's what I heard. Bless it.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
Some of my homegirls need a refund, bitch. Okay.
Tell them go find Ja.
Okay. But okay.
No comment.
Well, I definitely look forward to the rest of this season. You know I do.
For
you know I
sure.
get into Dallas, honey. So
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna be here for all of it. Is my husband making an appearance this season?
No.
No. Oh.
No.
Now, you know what? Let me just ask this one messy question. It's not messy though. That one time we see Trey Womack, is that the last time we see Trey Womack?
Please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Glory to glory to glory to glory to glory. Glory. Come on, Kurt Franklin McQuarrie. Glory, glory.
Yeah, that is the
Okay,
first. That is the one and only time you will see so and so for sure.
Child. Shout out to Trey Womack, child. Hopefully, you know what? Let's move. Moving on. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing. All things chasing reality, honey. They're gonna get into it this season, bitch. All right, so y'all ready to move on to some of these topics for today?
Let's do it.
All right, so the first topic, there's been a lot of chatter going on in the entertainment realm because Drake put out the Certified Lover Boy album, which, you know, all the girls are getting pregnant to, I guess. The craziest thing was said about him that, bitch, he rivals the popularity of a Michael Jackson. And
who said that?
Yeah. That's what the people are saying, girl. The Breakfast Club talked about it. They even did a poll on it.
The Breakfast Club need their ass whooped because they old enough to know better. Now the kids, I can understand they probably be a little lost because half of them wasn't born during that time and they don't do their research. But Charlamagne is 40 plus, they know better.
No, and no.
That's just disrespectful on so many.
It really is. Like,
if bitches haven't had heart attacks at your motherfucking shows just by you walking by them, brushing up against their spirit real quick, bitch.
You
know what I'm saying?
Michael Jackson is Beyonce.
Literally, at Michael Jackson shows, there used to be paramedics line. They were hired to just be there in wait for whoever passed out. Like, Drake, you can't even.
And it's like with that whole comment, I'm like, my first thought was, okay, so we're talking about Michael Jackson, who was a overall entertainer. You know, like he got on stage, he did the dances, he did the everything, he captivated you, and I can't necessarily say that Drake does that. Granted, he
Drake is a rapper that the crowd goes up for when they see him walk on stage, but Drake is not a sensation. Like, people worshipped Michael Jackson. Like, it's not that good for you, Drake. It's not there. And I would say but I don't think it'll ever get there because pandemonium for artists is not what it used to be. All of these people are touchable. Michael was untouchable. His family could barely get in contact with him. Like, nah, like you're not Michael.
Bitch, if you were a zoo animal or a cancer patient, bitch, you weren't getting access to Neverland.
Until you can stay on stage for 10 minutes and say nothing and the crowd still screams. You haven't said a word, the band haven't started, you ain't pulled the mic up to your face. And they are screaming, passing out. Poor people can't even, they pay all this money, they can't even see the show because they in the ambulance. That's not happening for you, Drake. It's not.
Got all kinds of new drugs out now. The girls still ain't passing out at your concert.
you having beefs. Michael Jackson didn't have no beefs. You beefing with Meek Mill, girl? Like it.
Michael Jackson did have a beef with Eminem, and he bought his entire catalog. So
that's how you beef, but that's not a beef. You want to fuck with me? I'll buy your shit.
So that's how you perform. You got paid.
There is no beef. I'm not putting out no record to talk about you. I own your shit.
Right.
He ain't get it back until like a couple of years after he died.
That's crazy.
Talking about musical royalty, every person, all the R&B dudes, the women, the dancers, modeled their whole entire career after Michael Jackson.
You know what,
I don't think anybody's doing that for Drake.
Nobody. And let's take away the pandemonium of him being a superstar. What is Drake's Thriller? What is Drake's Smooth Criminal?
Hotline Bling.
Are you serious?
I was gonna say I couldn't even remember the title of the song because I was gonna say "Call Me on My Cell Phone," but I think that was probably the closest.
For that culture, for that time, who's singing it now? Our grandkids are gonna sing "Smooth Criminal" and "Human Nature"
and "Thriller" during Halloween.
Halloween.
They still do the dance.
Billie Jean. That was one of the first songs where niggas said, "Girl, the baby is not mine, honey." Okay, yes, God, honey. Even the
Dirty Diana, the Earth song. Come on, the whole Invincible album. Can we not talk? We cannot talk about Michael Jackson and not mention the entire Invincible album.
Not to mention that Michael Jackson actually smoothed things over at one point in time between the Bloods and the Crips. What musical mogul is yielding their power in such a fashion?
Because everybody loved Michael. Who gonna say "F you, Michael"? I'm a blood for like if Michael say squash it, it's squashed.
Yeah,
come on, Jermaine. Come on, Bubbles. Girl, yes, honey. Michael, with that voice that's soft, they said when Michael comes in town, he shuts it down, honey.
Yes,
the girls are scared when they get calls from him. Some of the big time rappers, baby, said Michael's on the phone. I'm like, nigga, you lying. They get on the phone, they have so much respect for Michael. Hi, Suge Knight.
Okay.
Hey girl, how you doing, Suge?
Not hey girl.
Hey girl.
Come on.
And not to mention that you can't even give all the credit to Michael Jackson. Katherine Jackson's pussy is so nuclear that it gave birth.
It's the nuclear
superstar family. Okay.
Yeah.
Drake is the only mediocre entity that came out of his mom's twat.
Oh.
Now, you can be the Michael Jackson of Canada if that's what you want to do.
In that Joe Jackson's Iron Fist, honey, like I don't think if it was for Joe Jackson in that Iron Fist, there wouldn't be no Michael Jackson. I'm just saying though.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Drake had any humility, he would have rebuked his own self and rebuked this entire comparison altogether. But it goes to show how narcissistic and
it is a narcissism.
We're talking about a global recognized superstar that we will be talking about from eons from now. Sorry, Drake, we lose interest in you, especially when you're dropping albums that have like damn near 25 songs on them. Like that just goes to show, girl, like ain't nobody trying to pay attention to that. You know, real artists don't have to do that. They can drop 8 to 10 songs and just leave your ass mesmerized with a cute visual or two when it's time for video season, girl. Like Michael Jackson.
Visuals.
The only people who
Michael Jackson.
The only people who were able to even come close to his star power are the likes of Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, Dolly Parton, back Janet, back in those days when you literally had to like go to concerts and support that. Nowadays,
don't forget Beyonce because she don't
have the girls falling into seizures.
You do
do not do Beyonce, honey.
You're not gonna do Beyonce.
And y'all know I'm not even the biggest Beyonce fan,
and people passed out at Beyonce concert.
They have passed out.
Y'all love to throw her in there, girl.
Hold on.
No, you love to throw Mariah struggling ass up in there.
Yeah, I don't know why. Mariah's always popular, but I don't remember nobody having no seizure passing out her concert. I don't remember.
Except for dolphins, bitch. Dolphins react to her motherfucking voice.
You better know it.
and we move the fuck on and hear her how she really sounds.
Prince too. Thank you, D. Rashawn Prince.
Oh yeah, Prince too.
Prince was another one for sure.
He will sing the pussy lips off a bitch.
Literally.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I just thought it was laughable, and I just want to laugh at his ass real quick. Sorry, Drake girl, you don't get the crown. You're not America's Next Top Model.
No, and you never will be. It's never gonna get that good for you, Drake.
Sashay away.
No, yeah.
Please,
depart from this life.
But wait a minute. My pussy always collapses when people are not a fan of Beyonce. How in the hell is it possible for the brain not to?
But here's the thing, though. It's not that he's not a fan. He just refuses to give her things.
Well, I can answer that.
It's a gumption of hateration.
Give her her things.
I can
accolades.
Let me just say this, though. Let me say this, though. The reason...
It's not that Beyonce, I'm very aware of the greatness that is Beyonce, but everything Beyonce do isn't great to me. So it's just like, she's a great artist. Like, for example, Michael Jackson's a great artist. Everything he does isn't great to me. So it's just like, okay, that's nice. He did that. She did that. But it's not like, oh my God, let's worship them. I'm not that way about nobody.
Well, right.
It's not, Beyonce, I'm not excluding Beyonce. It's just, I'm like that with nobody. Like, I have my favorites that y'all know, my diehards, and even everything they do isn't great to me. It's
right.
It's all right.
But
Beyonce, I'll give her a flower. She's a wonderful person, but everything she do ain't good. And
it wasn't you. It was the bitch above you that don't want to give Beyonce.
Let me tell you why. Let me say this. Let me say this, and this is why I agreed with Trick Daddy when he made his remarks. When Beyonce does things, I don't feel it. And it's not just her performances, it's her lack of interviews. And even when she interviews, I don't feel it. Like, I can feel a Mariah. I go up, I hear the conviction. But in Beyonce, it seems like it's pre-recorded. And I'm not talking about her vocals. I'm just saying pre-recorded, like we talked about with Eric James. I just feel like it's robotic as fuck.
It is.
I need to feel you.
Now that I can give you, she was trained from the moment she could talk. Once
her dad found out
that she could sing, it was like, this is going to be your career. You know how?
So let's talk about that. Because there was a point in time where we got the real Beyonce, but Beyonce used to talk so fucking reckless in them interviews. They pulled that bitch from
it's called media training.
Any interview after that.
Media training. She came from that era of media training.
She's not an interviewer. She doesn't do interviews anymore because people have ridiculed her for all the interviews she's done in the past. So it's like, bitch, if I don't have the interview, y'all still gonna buy my shit. Y'all still gonna watch me. I can talk to y'all.
Beyonce's smart.
What the fuck I'm doing the interview?
You do interviews on a goddamn platform and you charge bitches $13 to look at it. Smart girl.
Okay. And then put out a movie.
And put a movie out.
There is no problem with Brandy. She's perfect. There is no problem with Brandy at all. But yeah, she came from that era of media training.
Brandy.
No, we're not gonna do that. Now I will let y'all know with Beyonce. We are not gonna do Brandy Ray on Norwood.
Brandy. Ciao.
We're not gonna do Brandy.
Okay.
That's the one y'all be giving way too much.
We gonna slide
way too much too.
We gonna leave. Let's leave Brandy alone.
Y'all be giving Brandy way too much.
Here we go.
Oh, you must like Monica.
I do.
Oh, girl.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And I'm sure your favorite singer lists Brandy as their favorite singer. I'm sure.
Monica.
Like Brandy. Guarantee that.
All right, so Drake, we got to throw you in the trash, girl. Still love you though. I swear he probably has a really nice dick, but other than that, I'm not interested. You know.
Actually, I don't even believe that. But
something I've seen the Prince. Well, then again, that could be.
Most of them Prince be all balls.
That's true. Well,
but Drake look like he's into being pegged and shit. Like he gives me very soft, romantic bottom type energy.
Not soft, romantic bottom.
He does get me super emotional.
I mean, his name is Champagne Poppy.
Very queefy.
Champagne Poppy, that kind of like gives me like old Carlos Santana, you know, like he's gonna drink wine out of your puss, you know what I mean, and just make you feel good. I'm here for it.
Is that healthy?
I mean, he has his own, you know, champagne brand, so I'm quite sure I'll do something. It's Drake, honey. You gotta get you some.
If
I'm
you
not gonna
pour
risk my
champagne
health.
on your, if you pour
I'll
champagne
have
on your
sex with him, of course, but I'm not gonna risk my health. If champagne does not go in my asshole, so that's not where we're gonna put it.
Oh, you don't see those videos, child? They be like pouring on. They be having food
It's
and shit.
okay for
Child.
them. They also need to go get checked after that.
They be drinking beer out of their child. I saw this one
And
video.
that's exactly why the goddamn motion sensors in them hoes assholes don't even work anymore. That's why
Because you didn't put too many goddamn chemicals down there and the goddamn motherboard didn't rupture.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bubbly in the ass.
And that's how you end up bubbly in the ass.
That's what y'all you gotta clean properly. Yeah.
Ooh. Ain't nothing wrong with a little, you know.
Ain't
I
nothing
don't want
wrong with
food on me though, because I read this story a long time ago where this couple was doing food play and like they woke up and had like ants eating in their assholes. A bunch of infestations in all the wrong places, girl.
Oh
So,
no.
Oh no.
Child, it was a
How
mess.
ant
I'm
make
not
it
really
all the
They
into
didn't take a bath?
Right. How ant make it
Yeah,
all
like,
up your
I
booty
don't-
hole?
And think about it too, like if that stuff gets like for guys, if it gets in our like, what do they call that thing? The urethra, the hole. If something gets in there, oh my god! Like I don't.
You gotta pee it out if you can.
If you don't get some kind contract something from that,
Girl, see, that's
bacteria,
why-
foreign agents. Remember back in sex ed when they showed that video of that big ass Q-tip they had to stick in that boy's dick?
Down
child?
the yes, I saw that video.
Oh.
If you get tested for STD for that, I think it's chlamydia. Yeah, they will stick it a long Q-tip down the head of your. It's. I
can't
know
do
that's
it.
gotta be painful. I know that's gotta be painful.
All right,
I can't do it, honey. I can't
We
do
all,
it.
While we all feeling, we all like.
Yeah, let's
smiling out,
talk
we all
about
feeling.
I'll talk about that.
Okay, so moving on to the next topic. I wanted to talk about this as well because we see with the dumbass, we have Little Booty, STI, Tory Staines, people like them. They're really having the nerve to say that we, the LGBTQIA plus community, we're bullying the heterosexual community.
Damn, I know we had that much power.
They say, girl, we are out here.
Angela Stank into that list too.
We are gods at this
Yeah,
point.
they believe that. They truly do. And I just wonder, like, girl, like, how are we bullying you guys? We're the ones afraid of you. We're the ones that are fucking trying to, not be our authentic selves sometimes because we have to fucking identify with the common norms of society so that we're not fucking chastised and beat up.
Yeah.
Thrown in trash cans. Shout out to Empire. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, people. Like, being killed, literally hunt down. Remind you of something? Yeah, bitch, we're more alike than you think.
Don't you dare say it, YB. Don't you dare say it.
Say it.
It's the truth, though, because what kills me is most of this happens within our own Black communities, right? But people refuse to say or admit that gay also comes in Black. So you want us to fight for you, but look, if you look back in the slavery days, what our ancestors went through, our people have went through the same fucking thing. So the fact that we're Black and would have experienced the same thing on a slave level, we're going to experience that double because we're also homosexual.
Yeah.
So I know people don't like us to compare the struggles, but if you really look at it, they're treated the exact same way. And the timing is the same as well. We're talking about ancient times where homosexuality was outcasted as well as, slavery, because they did Jesus that way because he was a nigga, bitch. Let's just be honest about that.
Which is why Black men of all should understand the plight of gay people and respect us, because if you look at it from the outside looking in, gay men, Black men to gay men are what white people are to us. And it's like you sit on this pedestal, you look down and you point and you mock and you say all these things like you're better than us, and it's just like, A, we'll beat your ass, so don't push it. And B, like, don't you see the relation between the two?
They don't. And I don't think they ever really will. I mean, when it comes down to these people with these huge platforms, these uber masculine affirming jobs, like being a rapper and all of this and that, the first thing that y'all want to go to is, what y'all need to say is that y'all intimidated by Black gay men. Y'all scared that we finna come and get your bag because Lil Nas got them shaking in their boots. No shade.
Yeah.
Shade.
Very
But
true.
the thing about it is, it's like, I mean, all of them, especially T.I., like, girl, you live in Atlanta. A lot of those Atlanta girls done paid a lot of your bills because they have lusted over you in the concerts, at the club, at the parks, and all of this stuff, Amusement Midtown, and all this and that and the other. So why you all of a sudden is so trying to say that you're being bullied by the LGBT community? We don't have time to bully nobody because we're just trying to stay alive if we want to go outside with a little mascara on, bitch.
But living in Atlanta, you can't possibly act like this is the first time you've seen an influx of gay people around you. A, and then B, you're in entertainment. So I know somewhere on that set, there's a sissy. There's a punk somewhere making this shit run and stay afloat. And you're completely okay with that.
Yeah.
So why is it now an issue? I feel like if Lil Boosie would have never said anything, y'all wouldn't have hopped on this train. But as soon as y'all had somebody, then it was like, I don't see nothing wrong with what he's saying. So it's
but
like,
if you take a strong look at those people, those so-called majority, like the dumbass Tory Staines and the girls, they're like nothing. Like, yeah, they're making a bag, but they're not making that universal bag. You know, y'all niggas ain't that important.
and are you even making a musical bag? Like, half of y'all money at this point is coming from investments and, you know, other business sources.
PPP loan fraud.
Oh, and y'all not selling records like that. Because when we look at the charts where Lil Nas is sitting at #1, you ain't at 2 through 10.
Child, when Little Booty said on the Breakfast Club that he was doing a movie about his life and his son was going to play the younger version, I said, girl, ain't nobody going to watch that shit. I don't care about your life, bitch. What's different about your life than the niggas that I grew up with?
First of all, we didn't even know. I saw pieces of the interview and I still didn't even know that until you just said it. So it's just like, nobody cares. Now that we know, we're still not gonna watch.
He has yet to.
Because we don't care.
Boosie has not made an impact on the culture where we will want to care like that. So it's like, even when he says so much, like it's a gay thing and always trying to, the children this, the children that. It's like, no. And then I had a thought the other day, and a lot of people say, you know, what about your music where you talk about doing all this stuff with women and all of that, and your music, how does that impact the children? Well, it doesn't impact the culture enough because he ain't really popped big enough outside the chitlin circuit so that we could actually be able to be like, oh yeah, this is influencing us. But then when you got an individual like a Lil Nas or whomever that's doing their thing, making their music, and just being just a little bit outlandish because he wants to, it's a problem because he's surpassing you. So now it's not necessarily a black man surpassing you, it's a gay issue because gay is all of a sudden,
I hate to say it, but Old Town Road surpassed him. So the beginning of Lil Nas's career was past Lil Boosie. So he started above you. So I don't.
But we're the bullies, y'all. We're the ones around here hazing the kids, threatening their lives. We're out here straight bashing. I've never heard such a thing before in my life.
Straight bashing.
Wow.
How can you straight bash?
We're the ones that alter our route, our commute home sometimes. You ever lived in the hood of the projects? So not even just that, just the heavy area. You got to get into your apartments. The niggas is chilling outside. How do you feel? Sometimes, not like you want to clutch your pearls like a Karen, but like, is a nigga gonna say, "Oh, look at this faggot"?
You do have to brace yourself. You do have to like prepare yourself.
The barbershop. That's where I feel sometimes the most. Like, girl, I wish a motherfucker would, because I'm gonna start.
To this day, the barbershop is a thing.
Yeah, the barbershop.
The barbershop is always like this male-dominated arena that you go when you just. Funny thing is, I think some of the people that go to the barbershop is the most feminine things because, bitch, you getting your hair cut every 2 weeks, getting a lineup every week, girl, you a little pussy.
By a man, though. A man is caressing your hair and doing all this stuff. Make sure that you looking right.
And accidentally putting that print on your elbow and you ain't moving your arm. Nigga, you know what's going on.
I see all those videos on Twitter where you see them niggas be what is the word? Free balling. Hello, God. Child, but we're the bullies, child.
Hey, don't think I don't smell y'all niggas when y'all come in the barbershop. Why you smelling good and all fresh and clean to get? I wear regular clothes because I know that after the barbershop I need to wash my hair. So I'm not trying to dress up because I know I need to take a shower and wash my hair.
Why are you looking cute for your barber?
Huh?
Why are you looking cute for your barber?
That's what I'm saying. Why are you coming in like? Girl.
Well, men do that though. That's why I test them. That's why I look at their hypocrisy and I say, girl, please, you just how in relationships with women, how they'll put the needs of their boys first, then their woman, or how they try to stunt on each other to prove that, bitch, I'm the bigger bitch in the goddamn jungle than you are. Mm-hmm. I have the better car with the bit better rims. I have the latest Jordans on. I have the latest outfit on. I'm better than you. They do that so much. I'm just like, do you not understand? Like, but we're the gay ones, girl. Please.
It's because straight men have no identity other than comparing themselves to other masculinity and sizing that masculinity up. It's hard at this point for me to take the Angela Statins and the little Boosies very seriously because everybody who supports this gay agenda, heterosexuals are being bullied shit, looks like they barely completed their GED finals and that they're selling their fucking food stamps. So I'm not really sure at this point how I can't even conjure up the passion anymore to even be upset. But you know what? I'm also not surprised because sometimes when your privilege is being checked, it feels like being bullied. And heterosexual people created the narratives. They were in control of their religions. They were in control of the respectability politics. They got to design the rules according to them. Mm-hmm. And now that the LGBT community, well, really the age of Aquarius, has pulled a reverse Uno card, everybody who was once first is now being made last. And this is their immature social tantrum that they're throwing because they have to make space for people who deserve a slice of the fucking pie. Mm-hmm. So as far as I'm concerned, heterosexual people can bleed out. I'm just going to let them bleed it on out, honey. Go into y'all corner, throw a fit, talk all your shit. At the end of the day, queer people are still going to be shitting and sitting. So we'll be moving right along.
Yeah.
It's the sitting for me.
I think it's one of those things of we were in the background. We were your support system. We do your hair. You model your clothing after us. And now, if somebody like Lil Nas X can also be successful, that will make it easier for other, queer people to be successble. Meaning, we won't have to help y'all no more, just to be seen. Because we can be seen on our own volition. We can be seen on our own time. We can be more famous than you because we have the ingenuity, we have the creativity, we have everything that you want to have.
So what you're saying is basically they want to keep us because they're codependent on us.
Absolutely.
So if we find our independence, they're lost.
We dress them, we do their hair, we design their set.
This reminds me of a song. I can't living this without you. Come on, Mariah, bitch.
Who are the top choreographers right now who have all the artists right now? Who's making all the money? Like it's Sean Bankhead.
And then for a time, I don't know if y'all are aware, there was a time where Sean Bankhead was popping, and then they tried to silo him out because he came out and he was living his life. He had a guy in Atlanta. And they tried to the point where he left and moved to LA, and now he's back on and just shaking the table. And so I definitely agree that now you're intimidating, you're scared, but instead of being scared, we can just make money together. What's so bad about that?
It's just like the white men. Have to admit that Black people feel like now that we are in a position of power, we're gonna do them like they did us, and they scared.
Something they have to remember is gay men. About 90% of the time, like gay men. I know me personally, I don't like straight men because I ain't got no coochie, so I can't do nothing with you.
Right.
So I need me I need a dude that's gonna be able to deal with what I got going on. So it's like we don't want you. So if that's the idea in your head that you think that we're gonna come after you or do all these things, it's like, girl, get out of it. I done had, as a stylist, I done had some of these celebrities, these men drop butt naked in front of me, and I'm just like, Okay, well, put this on. And it's like, I don't want you because you're straight.
Yeah. And I don't like that about a straight man either. Don't test my game. You don't have to do that. Like, don't do that. Only to be like, what you doing? What you doing? You're the one that's naked, not me.
Because I'm telling you right now, if you drop that motherfucking drawers on past them ankles, honey, and once I get on my, first of all, I'm a big girl. If I get on my knees to give thanks, I ain't coming up until the job is done. Because bitch, okay, I'm just letting you know, don't play with me. Because I don't play those gay reindeer games, honey. Okay.
And with that statement, we just went back like 5 steps.
I'm just saying though, because niggas will play with
they
you
will
to test you out. And I've had that happen to me. So when I fucking reciprocate, honey, because once I get that nerve to, okay, respond to your fuck shit, and I'm just gonna be real too. Getting on these knees is a lot of energy, and getting up takes even more energy, bitch. So the job will be completed. Just know that.
To Kat's point about guys being in the industry, it's so interesting to me because the truth is, Hollywood exploits queer people, especially Black Hollywood exploits queer people the way that the Black church exploits queer people. Whereas we're only tolerable when we are a help to heterosexual people. So yeah, we have to be styling them, shoe shining for them, curling their hair, writing their music, creating their performances, choreographing their dancers, etc. I also want to say this to the Black community, like, you motherfucker, like, we have Black standing alone has missed the fucking mark, because what you're forgetting is that when you see liberated LGBT people, particularly LGBT men and women, you're still seeing liberated Black men and women. So there should be more of a motivation for the Black community to rally behind successful LGBT individuals, Black LGBT individuals, because with that accessibility and with those resources, we can provide and make space for both intersections, the queer intersection and the Black intersection. So I'm just waiting for our people to get the fuck over it so we can finally doom buggy on forward into glory.
I think it's because we outrank them with talent. I'm gonna use, and this crazy because she hates the gays so much, I'm gonna use a Kimber Railcrow to support what I'm saying. She actually said people don't mind celebrating what they're not intimidated by. As long as you can't do it better than them, they'll celebrate you all day long. And the moment Lil Nas came out and was just like, bitch, I'm the superstar. You're the help. It was like, now wait a minute. We let you in the door, but we expected Old Town Road to be your hit and miss. You know, after Panini, we just thought you was done. And here you are with an actual hit, but actual success, we can't do. We can't take.
But it also has to be that it's also connected. It's also connected to that conditional love that cis hetero folk have towards the LGBT community. Like, Lil Nas X was okay as long as he was covered up from head to toe and he wasn't being unapologetic. As soon as he became sensual and sexual, slung it in their face and became unapologetically Black and queer, there was a fucking congressional hearing about it. And even as explicit as Megan Thee Stallion's performance was on the BET Awards, as explicit as the Baby's performance was, as explicit as the entire fucking 2021 BET Award show was, who sold all of the controversial spotlight? Exactly. It was Lil Nas X. And even though Megan and one of the City Girls completely swallowed each other's spit backstage, the only thing that was notable was Black gay men showing their ass. And I know why that is. It's because the Black community, we have an issue with toxic masculinity, and male femininity feels offensive to us because we as a Black community have brought into a brand of masculinity that does not allow us to respect men who want to be girls and respect men who want to transition into girls, because we completely bite the apple of that patriarchy and that misogyny that maybe comes from being under the umbrella of pale supremacy and white supremacy and all of its fucking mutations. But they can suck my ass. Like, you know what this is about. This is not about
for sure.
It's not about the children. It's about toxic masculinity and a community that never recover from.
They're not gonna, they don't like
and
it.
I empathize with our fucking people because we've been stuck for a long time, and it ain't even it's not completely our fault that we have been stuck. Like, the foot been on our neck since the time we came into this, the time we was brought into this country, and that foot is still there. So we got a lot of work ahead.
We sure do. I think what you said was 100% right, but I also believe they feel that way, but it wouldn't be so much of an uproar if it wasn't so popping. Like, if we didn't go up for it and Lil Nas was just another performance and wasn't nobody caring about that shit, he wouldn't have had nothing to say. But because it's getting so much attention, it's like, no, we want y'all to talk about Normani getting on top of Tiana, but y'all said that was cute, but y'all cannot stop talking about Lil Nas, and that's an issue for me. Because I want y'all to like what I like.
They use the argument of there are not enough black men in the households. There are not enough strong black men prevalent. So they try to use that as an excuse to say that gay black men shouldn't do what they do or be as prevalent in the community.
But those same black male figures, those same black male father figures are missing out of households of heterosexual black women.
Yeah, they don't care. We
are
ruining
80% of these households don't have fathers in them. So it doesn't really matter if it's a gay man, a straight man, or a gay or straight black woman. It doesn't matter.
And I've yet to hear a rapper talk about getting married in his song.
Absolutely.
Like, every time,
And treat somebody right.
Well, all I hear is throw baby.
Like what Cool J used to put out. Like, I'm sorry, you know, like swooning a woman and being, now it's
throw baby, fuck you, everything that would enhance the idea of a black man coming, literally.
And what I don't like about these rappers is that when their lives change, their lyrics don't. How are you married still talking about fucking 3 or 4 bitches at once?
Because they still are.
Right. and they wife is cool with it because she get a check. She all right with it.
Because half of them are like, bring them into the bedroom.
Yeah.
Just don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Like, just, bring them, go ahead and bring them in, but just include me. How do y'all feel on that?
Like, that's what kills me too. So when we talk about the weight of influence, you don't think that people are smart enough to see that, okay, we publicly know you're married. Yeah. And you're talking about all of these bitches and these hoes and all these things that you're doing, right? So I just be wondering too, like, why is it the influence to know better to say, I already know you ain't you're not currently living the life that you're rapping about. Future, you don't sell drugs anymore, girl.
That we know of.
Or do
you know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
because a lot of these rappers still going.
But like Tramel said, in a sexual sense, these men are living these lives still. They're still sleeping with 3 or 4 women at a time, and one of those women just happened to be their wives.
And selling drugs and popping Molly. I mean, like, look at all of the criminal charges T.I. and Tiny done faced. Look at how in and out of jail and prison and how many lawsuits the baby got against his ass. I mean, unfortunately, it speaks to the old saying that you can take the ratchet EBT password slanging nigga out of the hood, but you can't take the EBT out of him. Like, you can take these people into a new environment, a new space, but if the consciousness doesn't change, I mean, you're just putting a bad problem in a fresh ass environment.
That's very true.
And you always know that's a thing.
People don't even know that, like, these people are like coming out of these places and being put into these positions, and they're still capitalizing off of people's current struggles that they don't even know about anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're taking money from communities that are paying you for struggles that you used to have that you don't feel anymore, and you're using that as a basis of, hey,
connectability. They want to relate to people. Yeah.
You're pretty much profiting off of other people's pain that you used to feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not even talking about your real life anymore. Cause like, shit, you've been in the game for like, what, 5-6 years? Like, what you know about drugs no more? Like, for real. Like, you got people who are actually paying your bills who are struggling, and you're not doing anything for the community. You're not being a good role model. You're not showing them, hey, this is how I get it. You just still rapping like, hey, I still live that life. Give me your money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they don't know about it. Talk about that. Like, not even being.
They do that. While they slanging their dime bags and they grams, they listening to Future.
Okay. Yeah. Making cocaine on the stove, you got a private chef, girl.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you got motherfucking filet mignon. I'm over here eating ramen noodles. Why you got me fucked up? And you got me taking my money for this album. And you mad that you ain't get no Grammy, but Lil Nas X did that he fucking niggas.
Child, I just think people need to pay more attention. They need to start living for self. Stop latching on to these mega celebrities or these people who you think got things going on, because that shit will lead you down a path that you may not be able to come back from, child. You know what I'm saying? Like, live your truth. Find yourself. It's good to listen to music and, you know, people that you like or you celebrate or you want to go to their concert, but to just do the most to really emulate them and to girl, like, be yourself. Those are those insecure bitches who ain't fully developed into that self-discovery, you know, that they need. Hello. All right. So I want to move on to the next topic. And speaking of, you know, LGBTQIA and all those things, right? What is the most difficult part for you all about being, you know, part of the spectrum?
Everything to come after T. That's everything to come after T.
Oh, Lord.
And that's no shade. I'm confused about everything that's after T.
I agree.
Yeah. It's just popping up. It's like as soon as we get up in times and social media changes and new things and new fads come in, we got transgender, non-conforming, them and they, non-binary. I'm so confused.
I don't agree.
I'm just gonna address everybody by their damn name. That's just it. No he, no she, no they. Just what's your name? Hi.
I know what the Q stands for, but I never knew what the IA stood for.
Intersex.
See, you see that shit? See that
NBA.
shit?
Androgyny and asexual.
Ally?
And allies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why it's two A's, like a double A, and it's just a plus sign.
Yeah.
And the plus is more that we're not gonna name.
People rag on our acronym, but the truth is, the LGBT community is dope as fuck for being so fucking encompassing and inclusive. We're the only fucking group that has literally tried to put all of the misfits into one fucking basket, and I'm proud of that. Like, I think that that's sickening that we have attempted to give all of the weirdos and all of the freaks and so-called freaks in the society an actual club and a space to be acknowledging, like, and we're the only people who has to look out for the lesser man in that way.
I love that idea. Why can't we just be gays and allies?
Because everybody on the spectrum isn't gay. You have trans, you have cross-dressers, you have things.
But when you say LGBT, it's all under the gay homosexual umbrella.
Well, there are some trans people who do not consider themselves
who are not
homosexual.
Exactly. But the LGBT, then you would be just straight. You wouldn't be a part of this community.
Some of them actually do consider themselves to be straight.
But if you are trans, you went from one gender to another, so you're automatically trans. So whether you're trans non-conforming or trans non-binary or trans red.
But what I'm saying is it's grouped with the gays. So it's obviously in the same arena.
Exactly. I agree. But
walk up to a trans woman, call her gay, see what she do to you.
Which one? Some of them need to stop acting gay.
I think that, you know, when it comes to all the different segments of the community, it does bring a sense of, hey, this is your home too, to all the people that may not necessarily fit into that spectrum of being, say, queer or bisexual, and you may identify as trans, even though you may not look trans. So, I mean, it's, you know, it's all about how you identify in this particular group of people. I personally, I'm okay with all the different pieces, but what I don't like is don't criticize me if I get your segment wrong if I don't know. Right. You know?
That's why I'm at Ressie. I'm with that one.
Right. I'm the same way. Like, look at it this way. You have, in the black spectrum, you have Jamaicans, you have Africans, all of that. You know, if I look at you and just say, oh, she black, don't curse me out because you are black. It's still under the, you know, you may be Nigerian, you may be Jamaican, you may be Caribbean, but you're black.
Yeah, and it's also
You
it's a
gotta
way to
also
correct
think about,
somebody
like, you
without
can't
being
tell
rude.
anybody how they should feel about how you're categorizing them. Like,
I'm not saying don't
If I
correct
don't
me.
know
oh,
you,
you're
If you want to
black,
correct me, then that's
that
fine.
might
But
be a
don't curse
negative
me out because I
connotation.
speak.
that's what I'm saying. It's a way to correct you without being rude about it. Like, for
That's all
example,
I'm
if you
saying.
decide that you wanted to be a pink pig today, I don't know what's in your goddamn brain. I don't know that. So at the end of the
But
day,
if
if
I
I say,
say, bitch,
"Hey,
I'm a
Sarah,"
pink pig,
and
I
you
don't
say,
mean
"Do
you
not
saying
call
like,
me
girl,
Sarah,
I
I
am
am a pink pig," then it's
You are
like,
not a
bitch,
pink
I
pig.
don't know you from a can of
Right.
paint. I
So
don't know.
it's just be nicer with your approach.
Just
It's
be
okay
nice
to correct
about it.
somebody, but
I don't know what a non-binary, non-conforming, transgender, bisexual is. I don't know what that is.
Girl, please.
Well, girl, this is the thing. See, this is the argument that I be having with people. Like when y'all say certain things, like, "Oh, well, you know, trans is gay too." Like you're already you're like having these preconceived notions, and when somebody tells you that's not me or that, like, you need to actually give them that space to actually say it instead of like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna go on with what I think anyway."
oh no.
Which is
If
what
I
y'all
talk
was
to somebody,
giving anyway.
if I talk to somebody and they respectfully say, "No, you know, I'm actually non-binary, so refer to me as them or they," I will respect that. I'm not gonna be like, "Well, girl, it is what I call you." I'm not gonna Angela Stan you. I'm not gonna do that. But what I am saying is, don't jump down my throat and be upset with me if I can't tell the difference. If I
So
just
if I
group
said
you
I
in,
was a trans woman and I said I'm not gay, then why would you say, well, you under the gay umbrella, so it's just whatever?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna think that, of course, but I'm not gonna
You're gonna
say
think
that.
Okay.
Let me say
but I'm
this
not
though,
gonna
but
say it. I'm
don't
gonna
you?
respect the fact that you want to be called a trans woman, but don't get mad if I say man because I'm looking at you with a beard and a mustache.
But don't y'all think that it creates an ultra sensitive world when we already live in an ultra sensitive world? Like, I don't want to have to fucking walk on eggshells around my peoples, you know? Like, God damn.
I'm very open-minded, so I'm with all the new terminology and everything's coming out. I can respect that, but like they were saying earlier, just the way that you come about me, don't be rude with it. But other than that, I could get with it, even though I'm old school. And to me, everybody's a girl. My dog's a boy. I call him a girl. Everybody, my cousins, I got straight homeboys. They girls too. Everybody's a girl to me. Which is like, at the end of the day, don't get mad. I've had people, even gay men, get mad. I'm not a girl. Girl, fuck you.
Yeah, I've had gay men tell me that too. Like, don't say girl.
Girl. As soon as you say I'm not a girl, girl.
Exactly, because that's some girl like behavior. Because you say I'm not a girl, like
the girl.
And I always have to tell people, like, I'm not being disrespectful. Girl to me is like an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Like it's an exaggeration.
It's like nigga.
I don't mean anything by it.
Like, for gays, girl is just girl. Everybody's a girl.
Child, I'll be driving. Y'all see my car.
This
like,
is a girl.
Yeah.
Like,
girl, man, this girl acting up, child. This girl right here.
Girl.
I just love how y'all trying to justify bad behavior by
using
your own.
The hell up. Ain't nobody
Sorry,
Dad. Talk about over there. Jamel, you want to be
very
you want to be on an ultra sensitive for goddamn thing.
I just said girl.
To yourself, okay? Keep that sensitivity to yourself, because we don't
Girl,
give a
shut
fuck.
up.
We don't exactly. Point proven.
I'm gonna be honest.
No,
I don't.
That's wrong.
Y'all be trying to be so woke, but at the same time, y'all do the same damn shit.
Girl,
We
when
all
you
do.
sleep, girl.
What? What you say?
I said you were sleep, girl.
Girl, I'm awake. I'm up. The fuck?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't mind the sensitivity. Like, I don't mind the tiptoeing. Like, you should tiptoe the fuck around my truth. Like, you gonna get your ass information. That's just what it comes down to. Like, people are demanding that motherfuckers slap all of the respect on their name, and I don't mind that pressure. Like, I don't. This world has been out of control for too fucking long. People have killed themselves. Their lives have been destroyed by a lack of respect. So I'm not angry at whatever is costing people. Like, we just gotta learn it. We gotta unlearn shit, and it just gonna be what it's gonna be. But to the original question about what is the hardest part about being fucking queer, the whole goddamn thing has been goddamn nuts and barely survivable. At this point, queerness is a blessing, but to get here almost costed a bitch's life. So it was hard, like, because it's not just about orientation, unfortunately. Like, it's also about living in a society that's anti-queer, but it's also this lack of nuance around my masculinity and my femininity, irregardless of sexual orientation. So having to just deal with how do I deal with my femininity and not being in a society where I see any examples of men really embodying their femininity, unless it's on the extreme gay, flamboyant, charismatic side. So having to be the type of queer man that I am, who has lots of feminine and masculine forces moving through me and want to express itself through hair and makeup and big ass gaudy chains, like all of that culminating in one motherfucker and not having any direction. So the queer shit is like deep because it's not just related to orientation. Like,
but what I was saying though, to the point that I was trying to make, was that if we could just live in a world, in the perfect world where people just respected you, don't comment on my life, don't comment the way that I look, don't comment the way that I choose to live, don't comment at all, bitch. Focus on your fucking house. Get your shit together. Yeah. We can be cool. We can have respect. But I think when we start breaking down all these different layers, like, of course, I always want to respect people, but I don't need the response to be ultra sensitive as well, especially if it's coming from a place of wanting to be educated and wanting to learn. I just think respect all around should just be innate. It sucks that we have to go that far to, defend that situation, because I think, girl, please, the heterosexual community, whether you're a homophobe, keep that shit to yourself, but you still gonna respect me as a fucking human being.
Period.
I think that oversensitivity, to your point though, YB, speaks to how much also really as a community we really don't have conversations around how so many of our trans sisters and trans brothers and queer brothers and sisters are suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. And so when we see that ultra sensitivity, what we're really seeing is people being triggered, people who have not had a voice for so long, who have been misgendered for so long, and so now there's an attitude that everybody is coming for your neck. And it
counseling. Don't reach for everybody else, bitch. Counselors are there, bitch. Go talk to somebody. Don't take that on everybody else because you mad about something. They ain't got nothing to do with us. I went to counseling.
It actually does have everything to do with us, because healing a world is all about responsibility, and being empathetic and compassionate towards one another is all about burden, whether we like it or not. And we also have to deal with the fact that when you're Black and LGBT, counseling is not even a word. Therapy is not even a word that's in your index as a Black American. For so long, the Black community substituted therapy for church and religion. So Black people don't have a relationship to therapy. We don't have a relationship to going to get help. Getting help is going to the white Jesus and begging him for your deliverance and begging him for your salvation. And so there's a lot of it's a complex situation.
I understand that, but you keep saying that everybody in the world is supposed to be empathetic to everybody, and y'all know we live in a world where everybody's not. So are you gonna sit here and just want to get mad and jump down everybody's throat because they're not addressing you right? That sounds like something personal that you need to realize. You need to check within yourself. Somebody asks you a question, like I say, "Hey, girl," and you just get 38 hot off rip. I don't think you should be doing that. Like if it's triggering for you, you need to go talk to somebody about that. Yes, therapy is not normal for us, but we need to start normalizing therapy. It's not our responsibility to hold that trigger for you. That's you to hold that trigger for you. And then after that, if somebody get disrespectful with you, then you can open up a can of whoop ass on that particular person. Because that's how I operate life. I went to therapy. I'm fine. I whoops out my own brain. And if somebody get disrespectful, I will grab them by the back of their throat and pull it out their neck if need be. But if we don't come to that, then bitch, we fine.
Yeah.
And that's just how it need to be. Don't hold me responsible for your pronouns and how you feel and all your triggers in your mind. That has nothing to do with me. Yeah. Only person responsible for you is you.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a little bit of that, and there is the problem with every single statement that's ever been fucking made. It's like, if we're not responsible for each other, if we're not responsible, then why do we expect heterosexual people to respect us if we don't even respect our boundaries? You don't expect it.
Have they been doing it?
No, I know you don't. I'm talking about real people, like real people who care about life.
Not real people.
Realistically, y'all know what ain't gonna happen.
Carl don't care.
This kumbaya world that everybody want to live in, where straight people and gay people holding hands, it's probably not gonna happen.
Like legitimate respect from just period. Like it's not really that hard to respect somebody's boundaries, but people find it so hard, and they only have a problem with it when it's their boundaries that are being questioned. Like, oh, I want, heterosexual people to respect me and they're gonna respect me. But then I'm like, oh, I see a trans woman and I like, well, girl, I'm just gonna call her whatever I feel like calling her, because girl, that's what I call her, honey. That's what I call. It's like, okay, where do we come to a place where we can get to that part of respecting people and wanting that respect back?
We're not.
Well, I wasn't talking about that. Like, if I clearly see that you present to be a woman, I'm not gonna call you a man. That's disrespectful.
Right. But you can't tell me that you
like what you were saying.
I'm
like
talking about her, and you got a whole beard out of
you
that.
yourself to be a man, but you call yourself a transgender woman. You can't hold that against me if I call you a man. And I'm
you got a whole beard.
Identify. Right. But if I see a trans woman, I'm gonna.
It's a woman to me, regardless. Like, I'm gonna call you she because that's what you look like.
I
You
think
got a whole beard.
the
My name is ma'am. I mean,
the people who don't look like the gender and the non-binary people are the people who should respectfully, just like you want us to respect your pronouns, respectfully correct us. You don't have to get an attitude with us. You don't have to get all, defensive. Just be like, it's actually that. I'm actually non-binary, or I'm actually trans. So you can just, she, me, and, okay. Now, if they continue on that path, then yeah, like Carl said, snatch them by their motherfucking throat and pull it out their motherfucking teeth. But until then,
but I wasn't normal. I don't think I'm normal people though. Okay, I'm
But this is what I want to say before we move on to the next, and more than likely it may be the final topic for tonight. How long it takes for certain change to take place, especially if we look at racism. That's something we've been battling since the beginning of time. Do you see how even in today's lane where technology, things have moved forward, we've progressed in a lot of different ways, but that.
Yeah.
So now that we have this fight within the community, I think people need to set their standards a little bit further out. Change doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
To get to a certain place where we're having less of these discussions, less outrage.
Right.
That's just how I feel. It's going to take some time. Like, I feel like we're getting there, but it's going to take time. It's been hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years since we've been around here.
But we have to keep facing that.
You feel like we're getting there?
We have to get real with it. Like, we have to face it.
You got to be real about it. It ain't happening.
We can't say, oh, it is this. But, we know.
We sit around with cisgender women all day that love us down and still don't agree with our lifestyles. There's people that's rocking with us that don't agree with our lifestyle.
And
so
I think that's just opinion, because there's a lot of cisgender women that I don't agree with their lifestyle either.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, it's nothing wrong with not agreeing or having these differences and whatever. That's what makes the world. But like the respect value, bitch, you're going to respect me. I don't give a fuck what you don't like, what you do like, but you are going to respect me. And when I say something, bitch, you're going to respect me. Otherwise, you will get slapped across your face, and you will get these consequences. But the respect has to be there. Like, you can go do that shit in your house in the privacy of your very own home. You can call me every kind of F word, whatever the case you want to call me. I don't give a fuck. But bitch, when you bring that shit to my front door, now you're being disrespectful. If I tell you I don't like certain things, don't do it. If you continuously do it, bitch, then that's a problem. But respect,
I'm gonna choose silence.
That's it.
Right. Y'all just like the way y'all gonna say the same thing I said. Y'all just didn't like how I said it.
Girl, you acting like you just don't care about people, honey. I'm talking about respecting people.
I didn't say I didn't care. I'm very
I don't care. You need to go see a therapist. No, bitch. You don't need to see
a therapist. I'm not. Nobody.
I will have his back in the sense that if I say, "Hey, girl," and it's like, "Bitch, I ain't no girl," like, you need to unpack that, sis. Why are you so angry?
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
But like,
like I said, just correct me respectfully.
If you come up to me and I don't know you like that, why are you calling me a girl? Because you don't know if I even like that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, people like you, I'll probably beat the hell up.
I don't like people coming up to me calling me.
Y'all are literally best friends. I don't.
Yeah, I know. We do this a lot.
I just want to say this. I have a Black trans woman who follows my platform, and sometimes she hits the link, especially when it's an LGBT-centered dialogue, and I absolutely love her to death. And she's been through a lot. And when I've had cis hetero men on the platform who said very triggering things, she has came on the platform and said shit the fuck off, and it becomes then a battle between her and those cis men. I am going to be honest. I rarely get on her ass, and I more so put the burden of compassion on the straight men who feel how some of the guys here feel, whereas in they don't even take all that, sis. Pipe the fuck down. You can talk to me respectfully. But what I try to get privileged people to understand, because gay men have privilege as well, especially relatively speaking. We have more of a social privilege than Black trans women do. And I try to allow it to be a learning moment when you see trans people or non-binary people or whoever the fuck it is spazzing out, because like it's two ways you can interpret it. Yes, your ego can make it about this person doing the most, or your higher consciousness can be like, you know what, girl, I understand that you are at the bottom of the food chain, and there should be real anger and real trauma there, and I'm not going to personalize that. Yeah, you're directing it at me, but I'm intelligent and mature enough to know that that's not about me. So I'm not going to necessarily chastise you and do the most, because you are an example of why the fuck we got to change the world to make it better for people like them, the people who have been left behind in the most extreme of ways socially. So, you know, I get it. I get the egoic response, but it's like we have to elevate beyond that. One of the things that I love about Jesus, or just the general narrative of him, is that when it came to the whores, the prostitutes, the sinners, those who suffer from leprosy, instead of him straightening them out, what he tended to do was straighten out those who were being judgmental, and those who were being narrow-minded, and those who were being privileged. And he burdened privileged people and burdened normal people with rising above. So I just hope that when we see our people crying out, that we can just understand that it's not about us. And if anything, the therapy can be our love and empathy. Mm-hmm. That can also be the direct therapy is, sis, I love you, I stand corrected, period. And we can move on and have a good old twerk session and be just fine.
Period, Poe.
Yeah. I do think in the sense of like your live sensitivity is important. Like if you know there's a trans woman on the line and you know you shouldn't be saying certain things, when you say it, catch yourself. And if you are corrected, stand in that. You don't have to be argumentative and defensive if you know you're wrong. At that point, like you said, you're just protecting your ego. And nobody learns anything. But again, I stand by, like, delivery is very important.
Very important.
Very important. And it's just like therapy maybe just it will help you articulate better. Because you get more bees with honey. And if you yell and scream at me, I'm not going to learn anything that you're trying to teach.
Period. That's all I'm saying.
But if you just calm me down and be like, no, sis, let me school you, daughter. It's not this, it's this.
And that's fine. That is okay.
But don't be disrespected. So it is a double-edged sword.
God fucking attack, bitch.
Okay. All right.
Getting attacked, you don't think like, ooh, I got attacked for something. Maybe I should go do a little research on why I got
fuck
attacked.
all that.
Bitch,
No,
some therapy.
I'm grown.
In that moment, you ain't thinking, let me research while you're upset.
Like that is what you're not gonna do.
I think it's just about respect. Like there's nothing wrong with
one thing. I have a deal with disrespect. You disrespect me, bitch, I black out from there.
But here's the question: how are we demanding people who have been the most disrespected to really have a strong sense of respect? Like most people who are being disrespected like a motherfucker are living on the edge emotionally. They're living on the defense. They're living, Black men are living on this defense. Black women are, Black trans women. So it's like our expectations are at a false equivalency. Like you can't acknowledge the trauma and brutality of a community and then absolutely demand and expect them to be completely clear and adult and well-minded, because
that is the ideal. That's the ideal way. I understand your rage. I get it. Because as a gay man, I somewhat relate. I don't relate as much as you, but I somewhat relate because I've gone through my own trauma. But at the end of the day, the fact is, you're not going to get anywhere yelling and screaming. I understand, but rage is gonna get you nowhere. How do we reach a resolve?
It's going to get you a hug from me.
I need to respect where you're coming from.
I'm going to hug that rage.
Everybody ain't conscious, boo.
I'm gonna squeeze that rage.
Love you, but everybody don't have the heart like you to understand that I'm crying out for something.
They need to have it, Kat. I need to legislate that everybody have a CTV type of.
And let me just say, it's not the people. It's not just the people that need to go to therapy that are enraged. All parties involved. Them niggas that was on your live that was misgendering and being disrespectful, they need to go too, so they can understand.
Go to a class, and the trans woman need to go get the healing. So one need education and one
but they both need therapy.
And they need one more class. They need one more class to understand that everybody's struggle is got the same weight, and ain't nobody's struggle heavier than the other one. Because if you get discriminated against for being black and straight and getting shot up by the police, and then my sister is getting slayed because she's in sex work, and then my brother is getting slayed because he's twitching down the street, and then my other sister is getting slayed because she got raped and now she got a baby and all this stuff. We are all having the same type of issue, but everybody thinks that everybody's weight is a little bit heavier than the other. And it takes moments like this and people like us to kind of just say, we have to be aware and just say, listen, sis, bro, I know you're going through some stuff, but look, this is what I'm going through too. Everybody's weight is heavy.
But you know
share with me how you get through your stuff, and then I'll share with you how I get through my stuff, and then maybe we could get through it together.
Thinking about
we are girls, honey.
But you know what?
Don't you know that we love you?
I have to side with conscience on this one because when we riot and protest and all of that because we're tired of being fucked over, and they tell us to just calm down. Like, it's not that serious. Like, calm down. We like, what, bitch? No. We gonna keep busting out y'all windows. We gonna keep setting shit on fire. We gonna keep screaming and hollering down y'all streets until y'all hear us. I just had that epiphany, but I understand. I get it because that is their rioting. That's their protesting. That's their saying enough already, bitch. I'm a woman and you hear and see a woman, so respect me.
I'm so glad you said that. You just called out the goddamn hypocrisy of our democracy, Kat. And to that point, exactly. Like, it's so narcissistic and gaslighting to literally keep your foot on a community's neck and then expect them to be diplomatic and sophisticated and civil in their means to achieve solidarity and a peace of fucking mind. Once again, those of us who have it within us to understand that we're dealing and talking about systemic issues. And yes, to Ressie's point, we all have struggle, but that struggle is also in the context of privilege. And so everybody is not struggling in the same capacity, but everybody does have their own experience of agony and strife and loss and despair, etc. And all I can say is I try to see hurt people as actually hurt and not as a means for me to chop their fucking head off, even if I'm in the way or in the pathway of that loaded gun. I just believe in trying to cure things up with love, but once again, like Kat said too, it's a double-sided sword. So I understand. We
all gotta do the self-work. I think we'll understand everybody a little bit better if we all do the self-work
and start rebelling differently.
The thing that takes me is just simple. People make life so difficult by trying to add all of these different complexities when really a thing is just a thing. You know how you want to be treated, whether you know how to identify it or not. You know the feeling of respect. You know the feeling of being accepted. You know the feeling of not being chastised. You know what it is not to feel those malicious moments in your life, right? So why would you then put it on someone else? That's all I'm saying.
Because all a hurt person can do is hurt. A person is hurt and and that's how we get intergenerational transference of trauma, of brokenness, because all hurt people can do is hurt until a society, a community, a system loves them enough to love that hell up out of them. Without our participation, there's an individual responsibility I have to heal myself, but there's also a place for society to do its part as well. We need that love coming from inside of ourselves, and we need that love coming from outside of ourselves That's how we get a working, functional body of people, whether that's a nation, a neighborhood, a family structure, etc. It takes the inward and the outward work. And yeah, it's rough.
It's actually a cycle
because
of like
everybody probably here
misunderstanding.
can think about a time in their life where there was like really fucked up and you couldn't hear you couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear it. You couldn't move how you were supposed to. You probably misidentified people who was really good for you for people who were like it's a mess when you're hurt. It's a mess when your life has been a mess. It's a mess when you haven't just gotten the emotional resources you needed from your parents, from your family, from
But we're
whatever.
all birthed. We're birthed in a world and in a time period where it's the environment's not conducive to that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. You're gonna have violence and violence and violence if that's all you've ever known.
I think
you're gonna have these situations of trauma until the world opens up their heart and says, "Hey, bitch! Like the way we force you guys to live." Which is why you have a lot of people talk about the hood and the projects all the time. Well, you know why we're like that? We're like that because you made it that way. You put us there. You know what I mean? So don't get mad when people start getting crazy because of the situation you put them in. And then those hurt people hurt their own people. And then that triggers down. Talk about that generational effect as you were talking about earlier. So I just think we need to kill off these systems that are keeping us oppressed and down. And start really rising above ourselves and what they expect us. They expect us to hurt people because we're hurt. Let's change the game. Let's shake this shit the fuck up, because if we don't, we're going to be looking at a mass extinction of our people, girl. I'm telling you, it's coming.
We need to hug each other more and kiss each other's cheek a lot more often.
And suck each other's dicks. I'm just playing.
COVID, baby.
I'm here for that. I ain't never heard nobody catch COVID from sucking some dick.
Oh.
Yeah,
that Delta strand too.
You've never heard of it. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
It's called the Cum 21. It's called the Cum 21.
They said COVID-19 about to be turned 22, honey.
Child. Well, I did have one last topic. We can just run through briefly. Y'all got time? Y'all got a minute to spare, real quick?
We came this far.
Okay, one more topic.
You've been on for 20 years. Why not? What's another year?
Okay. Do you guys? How do you feel about people who expose DL men?
Hate them.
They made the block hot for me a long time ago. That's why I don't mess with the trade no more. I ain't trying to die over the dick.
Can't stand them. Can't stand them. And the reason why is because now in this, I say in 2021, there's different levels of DL. And at times, I did this. I had a conversation with a guy who was DL. I want to talk to him. We did a podcast, and with Ashton, and you know, in certain ways, even with like visually feminine men, at times we can be considered DL because we don't necessarily want to show our face and we want to kind of go under the radar whenever we're dealing with somebody and all of that, and in so many cases, I prefer that, but I only deal with gay men. But then you have these people who try to out other men when they're not ready to do so, and it just it puts more of a strain on that particular guy. Like if he's not ready to come out yet, just be okay with it, live your life with him, and then if you can't deal with him being out, then you go on about your way and because he's toxic to you by keeping you hidden. And then you have other people who are just more conservative or discreet or whatever, however you want to put it, that get outed as well. So I can't stand them. I don't like people that do that.
I think it's atrocious to when you yourself at one point or another was scared to take that big leap, to force that on somebody whose experiences in life is totally different than yours. And I hate to associate DL men because they're not a monolith either. They don't just live in the hood and the projects. But when we talk about thug trade and stuff like that, that's where we're kind of going. You don't know what's going on in theirs. They walk in a different circle of life than you do, bitch. So them being outed and exposed could actually lead to them being killed. I believe we did talk about this subject a while back in regards to the situation that happened in Indianapolis, I believe it was, with that woman who outed the boy she used to fuck. And then they ended up killing that bitch.
Yeah.
People will die about their shit. And you don't know the struggle. And the reason I didn't feel bad for that situation is because you did something for someone they weren't ready to do yet. That could alter their life in a major way. So fuck going to jail because the niggas that I travel with will probably kill me, bitch. So I might as well kill you, go to jail, and at least I can probably still survive.
Sad truth.
Damn.
Very sad truth.
Well,
that's why it's dangerous.
My only thought on it is I just want to understand what you're doing that for. As in, why are you exposing somebody who's DL? Like, what is the purpose for that? What kind of impact will that have on your life to expose someone else?
They think they're going to run to them and be their only one. They think they're going to get married, girl.
No. I always say, mind the business that pays you. Minding your business is free, and that is definitely not your business to tell. And I don't like people who go around and make habits of telling other people's business unwarranted, because there's some bitches who deserve to be told, but not about shit like that. But just other stuff. But yeah, that's some trash ass behavior. So
my thought is, I agree that outing somebody is dangerous. Like, it's just a dangerous behavior. But I know exactly why people do it, and it's because on a subconscious level, outing someone proves to outward society that despite being othered and marginalized, that people like me, or I'm not saying me as in me, but people like the trans woman and the men attracted to her is more prevalent than what society is giving these tendencies and affections more credit for. And so people on a subconscious level, when they out these men, they're trying to say to society, despite how y'all try to make us out to be freaks and all of this shit in the third, we are desired people. People want us. People love us. People want to fuck us. People fetishize us. And I'm going to prove it to you by outing your most valuable, by outing your most masculine, by outing your most privileged, by outing the very people who you would not even believe is with the shits unless you saw it for yourself. So I'm going to let you see it for yourself. So I think that that's the attitude behind it, is that, like, here's the evidence that as much as y'all try to make this community an underground community, we all up in your bedrooms, we all up in your cars, we all up in your man's text thread, that your niggas is on the websites hunting down trans pussy, your men is on the website hunting down boy pussy, and so y'all might as well just blow the cap off this bitch. Like, stop with the shits. Let these men live, so we can let these trans women live, so we can let queer men live, so we can let lesbian women live, etc. So I think that that's the attitude behind it, is deep down you're trying to actually do an act that, despite it being dangerous and being at the expense of the one you're outing, is for the sake of freedom and trying to normalize what's going on in the backdrop, what's going on in the corner, in the crevices of society. So yeah,
especially in the Black community too.
Normalization, though, honestly, I get what you're saying, but like when it comes to like particularly trans women outing, quote unquote DL men, it's like I feel like that is a double-edged sword, if you will. Like, you're outing someone for being attracted to a female figure. How are you really outing them? Are you like equate? Because somebody said it, and it was like, wow, it's like somebody, like, you're a trans woman, but you're equating yourself to a man in this moment, a gay man, to out someone else, to make them ashamed, to make yourself feel better. It's just like, how is that working for you? Because you're masculine, you're making yourself a masculine figure when was ultimately attracted to a female figure. You know what I'm saying?
It's because it's not really that way, but that's why they're doing it. Because
it should be normalized to where that hurt is taken away. So like, if a man is exposed for messing with a trans woman, it doesn't be like hitting like, oh, he gay, so we gotta hurt him. Like, no, he's really not.
But what's the difference between him fucking with a trans woman and a man having an affair? Like, these are both women that nobody should know about.
A regular, well, not a regular, but you know what I mean, like a cis-born woman. Like, what is the difference, really, honestly?
All right, especially if, to support the argument earlier that these women see themselves as heterosexual women.
Right.
Saying, oh, he slept with me shouldn't be a big whoop because he's a straight man. So
exactly. I'm going to point to the wrong. Exactly.
No, but y'all gotta. y'all are missing it. They are outing these men. They're obviously not doing this for the sake of the person they're outing. They're doing it to communicate with the dominant society. They're doing it to communicate to society in these social systems. The person who they're outing is just a casualty of war. Like, they're just collateral damage. But who they're communicating to is the general world.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
They're looking to get an attaboy because, I mean, I have yet to see any type of publicized lashing against somebody who outed somebody, especially a boy outing some other guy that is this particular caliber. And they always put outing this guy that may be a multimillionaire athlete, what have you, as like you're trying to take him a peg down, which indirectly you're kind of pointing another finger at yourself, because if you're outing him in hopes of him losing everything because he just so happened to be gay, then you're kind of discrediting your own community too. It's like,
why not out him when times are good?
Oh,
as soon as he don't want to fuck with you no more, he cut off your financial supply. You run to the media outlets, and you got so much to say.
Yeah, but why not secure him for him to come out on his own?
And then the media, they have a funny way of sensationalizing, exposing people. And it's just like, we need to stop doing that too. It's always about, oh, who's gay? Who's gay? Remember that witch hunt that was going on in the NFL not too long back, and all of these people being pressured to come out the closet and things of that nature. Even in the rap industry, the music industry as a whole goes through that all the time. It's just like, why do we give a fuck if that person is just doing them?
And the headlines still degrade the women. This rapper, this baller was seen with this woman who was born a man. It's like, they gonna let y'all know.
They really go there.
So it's like in your quest to out him, you take it. I mean, you too are collateral damage. Is it worth it?
It's not worth it.
It's a mess. What people will do.
But the DL community is the response to homophobia. So heterosexual people have nothing but themselves to blame for downloading, etc. And that's why
overall picture.
That's why these men get outed, because queer people are trying to say, y'all need to get over this shit. Like, these niggas like it both ways. They like it every which way. And when are we just going to take the next step to just get over it? Like,
get over it because y'all fuck with us.
Yeah.
Ladies, we're y'all best friend, and fellas, y'all know what's up.
Oh, I got a question. I got a poll. Raise your hand if you feel like Lil Nas X is the only prominent gay rapper in the industry right now.
And we're all entertainment, and you think we don't know?
Probably
we're all
openly.
Entertainment, and you think we don't know?
Openly,
absolutely.
I'm still gonna raise my hand.
Some of these people, they don't.
You think I don't?
You know the funny thing. The funny thing, since we're talking about exposing, I've noticed in a lot of interviews recently with these rappers, where they'll be asked a question about the Lil Nas X situation, and they go into great detail of how they've worked with niggas who like niggas, but don't say nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
So when I listen to that collaboration track, I'm gonna question, oh, you did a feature with Lil Wayne. Is that the nigga you talking about too? Right. Every time you do a song with someone, I'm gonna think, so isn't that exposing technically?
And that's open too. Open and on camera are two different things. These people could be living their lives. Look at Queen Latifah. How many times have we seen her with her wife? Well, we all know the tea.
Yeah.
I think that we should continue to celebrate our two most prominent black gay male.
You know what? Sorry to cut you off, Conscious. That shit pissed me off when everybody jumped down Patti LaBelle's throat like she had done something we all didn't know about.
Right. Yeah.
We all knew Luther Vandross was gay. So
it was because it wasn't her patty pie ass business to tell.
I love that.
I'm about to go drinking. I'm gonna call y'all back.
Yes, honey. This house is not a home if there's no one living there. Yes, honey. That was my song. Look, God bless you.
Man, girl.
All right, y'all. So we're coming to the end. Any final thoughts? Before I do, I want to say my quote before we get into what everybody got going on, before we take our leave. This quote is nameless. It states, if you have the courage to make it through a lonely night, withholding but your self-destruction, thoughts to keep you company. Darling, you have the courage to make it through anything. I'm going to say that again because it sounded fucked up. If you have the courage to make it through a lonely night withholding nothing but your self-destruction and your thoughts to keep you company, darling, you have the courage to make it through anything. Amen?
Man.
Yes, honey. Any final thoughts? Anything that we want to say real quick?
This was a great show.
Yeah, Reese, thank you so much for coming on the show and being a co-host. We really love you. We have you back. And congrats on season 3, girl. It's off to a great start.
It really is.
It's off to a great start. I am loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
appreciate
Dallas
it
overall, but
I appreciate everybody's support. I definitely appreciate everybody's support. Just for me in general, you know, there's always been like, you know, a few bloggers that have always been there from day one that supported on this journey because I didn't know what I was doing coming out the gate, and I'm constantly growing and I'm constantly learning, and I just hope that, you know, I've been filming for the past 2 years and then just been putting out stuff with myself. So I hope that this is my final thought, that y'all just, you know, allow me to grow in front of your eyes. You know, there's been some mishaps that I have encountered along the way, and I'm not perfect, most definitely. I do want to take an opportunity to publicly apologize to Conscious TV for a project that we were supposed to do, and some things went not necessarily the smoothest with it, and so I have to take accountability for just not being for not going through a journey and realizing exactly where I'm supposed to be. So, you know, I just want to, you know, take that moment because I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and you know, I don't mind eating a bowl of crow, you know, and I will always eat a bowl of crow if I'm wrong. And so I just hope that, you know, when y'all see us do these shows and be on these platforms and get these critiques, that y'all just, you know, the viewers, the fans, the bloggers, our critics, just, you know, take us with a grain of salt and just know that we're humans. We're just on a bigger microscope or magnifying glass that we just need to grow.
Well, my respect level just went up for you times 12, even more than what it was. And I really thank you, and I really receive that. And you can make it up to me by following me again on Instagram. But it's all love, and you definitely have all of my support, and thank you for that. It means a lot.
Child, this is what happens at the Yes God Roundtable. Unity in the community, bitch.
Yes, God. Yes,
you better know it. Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything to say?
Look out for me and Carl. We're actually doing we're gonna have a rollout of this concert. So hip hop versus R&B is gonna be November 6th. We've got the venue already. That took forever. You know, these bitches don't want to work with nobody, that's what I tell you. But we got a really nice venue. I'm getting some great singers together. He's gonna get some good rappers. We're gonna go head to head. We're gonna see who has the best ear. I think I do anyway, but you know, it's gonna be a great thing. If y'all can make it down, you know, let me know. Get your tickets, whatever the case may be, and come have a good time.
That sounds gonna be good. I'm here for that.
That's what's up. Anybody else? Good.
Oh shit! Make sure you tune in to Chasing Dallas.
Yes. Yes.
Season 3, Thursday nights at 8.
Okay, each and every Thursday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and then right after, come on over to my Instagram and watch The Gospel According to Ressie on my IG Live, where I give some nuggets on how to turn some negativity into positivity.
Yes.
And I'll make sure to put everyone's information in the description box of this video so you guys will have easy access like holes in boxers. Amen.
Holes in boxers.
All right, y'all. Shout out to Carl. Not sure what happened, but make sure you guys are following him and showing him some love as well, okay? All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. And this is episode 9. 1 episode left. And we're out for the season. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really do appreciate you. And yeah, y'all have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye.
This was really good. Thank you so much.